Yes, people. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. This is your LiVARpool match reaction. 4-2 defeat at Anfield. What an absolute joke that is. Do you know what it is, right? I'd take the 4-2 on paper. No problem with that. 4-2 against top of the table Liverpool. You take that on paper. That's fine. Absolutely fine. But what I can't take is crap decisions ruining the game. That penalty, which isn't a penalty in a million years, on Diego Jota, clear and obvious dive, and that's given us a penalty, ruins the last 10 minutes of the game. It's neck and neck, it's end to end, it's 3-2 Liverpool, give us the penalty, game's over, game's done. What a load of shite. What an absolute load of crap. What a shame. What a shame that it's coming to this again with referee decisions, with VAR. LiVARpool. That is bang out of order, that like. And before we get into my rant and before we get into what I always do in these match reactions where I run through my bullet points of the game and key events during the game, goals and whatnot. Liverpool, yes. Expected goals today through the roof. Chances, mental. Dubravka, outstanding. Loads of chances from Liverpool. Should have scored a ton. Should have won the game earlier than they did, obviously. Could have been more up. Could have been further goals ahead. All those are if and buts and maybes, though. Do you know what I mean? All of those are like us away to Paris. But we should have got that decision, so we should have went, but against Chelsea. And them don't matter. Yes, they deserve to win the game in the end. Results-wise, I'll hold my hands up. Obviously, Liverpool with a better side today. They had the more chances. And they got the goals. But the way they got the goals was the wrong thing about it. The VAR checks, the penalty that shouldn't have been. And all the VAR decisions for the offsides as well is a disgrace, man. All those VAR goals getting checked for offsides. Sorry, like, I can't see any difference between Isak being offside for Burns' goal compared to the one that's given for them. What's the difference in Gakpo's goal when that goes to VAR? It literally looks exactly the same. The elbows and everything are exactly the same. So we get our decision given against us for VAR, and that would have given us a 2-1 lead. But when it's Liverpool, we'll give that. It's very tight. It looks exactly the same as Newcastle's. But I tell you what, we're at Anfield. Liverpool in the title race. Let's make it interesting. There's your goal. There's your 3-1. There's your 2-goal advantage. Yeah? VAR check on Gakpo compared to Burn and Isak. Exactly the bloody same. So these goals, just VAR completely ruined it tonight. And if that's tight, then that's tight. Right, whatever. But how can then VAR not go and make the decision for a penalty when it's Jota's obvious dive? How can that not go to VAR? How can the referee not go to the monitor and make his mind up and change it and give the right decision, which is no penalty, which then makes the game entertaining and competitive in the remaining 10 minutes. I don't know why I would expect that. I don't know why anybody would think that was possibly going to happen when Sky Sports tonight, the most biased bollocks I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, the amount of bias towards Liverpool, beforehand anyways on Monday Night Football, we've got Dave Jones, the Mackham, the Sunderland supporter, and then you've got Jamie Carragher, Mr. Bloody Liverpool, there, doing all the analysis and everything. Great, that's nice and fair. It gets even worse during the game. Honestly, the commentators and everything, when the goals went in or when it was a chance and how they're defending these decisions, it was bonkers towards Liverpool, man. And it was all about Klopp and Salah and, let's wank them all off. I tell you what, I wish Jurgen Klopp didn't find that ring at the end. He's searching around the grass like a right little muppet that he is. Big German bratwurst, the sausage. He's looking around the pitch for his ring. That bloke, man, what a helmet. All these things, right, where Liverpool's whinging got the rule change where Tyndall and Howe couldn't be in the dugout together. And then you've got Klopp from a minute go to a minute end. Even when his team are 4-0 up, he's still whinging his turkey teeth off. He's still whinging non-stop. Stupid turkey teeth baseball wearing cunt. I cannot be arsed with him, man. I'm sick of death. I loved Klopp when he first came to the Premier League. And right now, he's just a whingy, horrible bastard. I cannot stand him. What a prick. What an absolute prick. I know nothing about him. Absolute arsehole. Anfield, famous Anfield atmosphere. Didn't turn up until the 90th minute. Couldn't hear them, couldn't see them singing until the 90th minute when they're 4-2 up. And they've got that through VAR. Absolute disgrace, man. 2 dives, 2 penalties. Dubravka saved one of them. And obviously Martin Dubravka was unbelievable tonight. Fair enough. Well done, Martin Dubravka. Sometimes he did power them back out into danger, but he stopped them. He kept them out. That was the main thing. Listen, unbelievable performance from Martin Dubravka. Can you tell it's January and he's worried about getting replaced maybe? Bloody hell. He turned up tonight. Fair play to him. Or, on the other hand, is he now getting some match sharpness back after playing? You know what I mean? 2 sides of the coin. I don't want to be negative on any of our players tonight, really. I thought Dubravka was obviously top class and praise when it's due. Listen, criticise him against Spurs and all that because he was terrible. We'll praise him at the hill tonight because even though he's conceded 4 goals, it could have been 40. It could have been that bad. And he was tremendous, kept us in the game. And the goals that he did concede, the penalty and the tap-in from Gakpo, now what you can do about them really is there absolutely nothing you can do about that. So fair play to Martin Dubravka and fair play to the lads tonight. You know, battled hard. Will say that the disappointing thing for me is that both of Liverpool's defining goals came on the counter. Where up the end and Jordan gives the ball away and then they go up and make it 2-1. And then for Gakpo's goal, I just mentioned there, the tap in Almiron. It's January the 1st. It's nearly January the 2nd. And we haven't seen the right winger yet. Sort it out. Because this is what needs to happen in this transfer window. My God. Almiron. And I actually wanted him to come on. Have you seen my tweets during the day? Well, not him. I said maybe Kraft or anybody on that right-hand side because Gordon looked dead on his feet. Although when he got moved to the left, he had that good bit of skill to set up Isak's goal. But he wasn't running all night. He's clearly carrying a knock or something, Anthony Gordon. Far from match fitness. Probably like the majority of the black and white kits tonight. But on the right there, Almiron, he has a chance in Liverpool's box. Sean Longstaff goes mental at him after it because he blazes it over the bar. You know what Liverpool like, very quick from the off from the goal kick, quick distribution, up the other end and score. But Almiron, he cuts inside, blazes it over the bar. Longstaff's right there just dying in the box. Blade off to him, get his shot off. Gordon's made a nice little cute run to the front post. Miggy, blinded. Little Paraguayan midget is blinded and blasts it over the bar. Blasts it over the bar. Honestly, the in-betweeners. Get back to the in-betweeners. I've had enough. Almiron, a squad player, yes, but they're saying that the night he comes off the bench and does that. However, man, it's January now, right? I'm still gutted, man. Diaby in the summer, we should have got. Kudos, you know what I mean? We should have got Almiron. It's just not improving on the player. So tonight again is evidence that we need to do that. And again, I would say it's January. Can we sign a striker, please? Because Callum Wilson is off to Dubai on his holidays. Little January sunshine, little winter break. Is it? That's what the pictures are that have been put on social media today. Callum Wilson in the airline queue there to jet off. All Eddie Howe said was that he's had a knock and that he's not in the squad for that reason. Yet he's been pictured at the airport taking off to go and see the Burj Khalifa. You know what I mean? He's gone for a nice little beach walk. It's pissing down, yeah, freezing. And he's in Dubai, sunning it up on 80 grand a week. Oh, where, man? He's got to be third choice striker now. We need another striker in. Another striker in is what's needed. Because as good as Callum Wilson is, listen, potent finisher, brilliant. Just never fit. Never fit enough. And what's the point in that? Do you know what I mean? There's not much use out of that, really. Unless I say he's your third choice. Or you know, you've got to have options there. Again, we've got 2 keepers on the bench and these strikers. So Wilson not in the squad. It would have been nice if Howe had came out and then said maybe, oh, he's jetting off here for treatment, or he's jetting off here for this, that, and the other. Whereas at the minute, it looks like he's jetting off just to go with the beach club in Dubai. Do you mean pop some bottles, have a good time, get a suntan? Brilliant, nice one, lovely stuff. Wish it was me. And then you've got Kieran Trippier, who's the same. Kieran Trippier not in the matchday squad. To be fair, I've said for weeks now, Eddie Howe needs to just give this bloke a break and let him go do what he wants for a couple of weeks. I think Eddie Howe's watching. Eddie Howe's listening because that's all he's done. Kieran Trippier, his missus is posting pictures in Lapland. He's been doing up Lapland, Santa Claus, reindeers, sleighing. And then you've got his wife tagging him in New Year's Eve posts and everything. Pissed. Do you know what I mean? We've got a big game on New Year's Day. Now this with the Trippier thing. It's more about Wilson for me because Trippier, I've been saying it. 33, too old, playing too many games. Give him a break. Can't handle it. So I'm not that asked about the Trippier thing. Tino came in tonight, bit sloppy, but at the same time, you want to hear more than just they've picked up knocks. So you can't do what you want. Because remember when Trippier was injured when he first signed for us after a couple of months, then he was always pictured in those dressing room photos. Now he's just getting pissed at the restaurant on New Year's. Happy New Year, everyone. Anyways, 2024 and all that. First video of the new year. Nearly 700 people watching. Do subscribe. 200 comments to catch up with. Let's have a sip first. Thank you. Oh, that tastes good. Have I covered as much as I want to cover before we really go into your comments? There's absolutely loads of them. Big up, though, everyone that's tuning in, that is commenting. 700 people locked in right now. Do subscribe if you haven't already, please, and hit the thumbs up. Let's just quickly rattle through the goals then before we do get into your comments, right? So Liverpool, obviously, in the opening 20 minutes, we're getting battered. Diaz goal, great pass, terrible defending, too much space, VAR check, that one is offside. Salah then misses his pen, even worse than that. Trent Alexander-Arnold blazes it over the ball, that was terrible. Good for us, terrible for them. And Dubravka turning up, you know what I mean? Making save after save. I thought Dan Burn was a bit poor tonight, he was all over the shop for me. Burn was out of position time and time again, especially for one of their goals. He gets caught way off, well off. So Burn wasn't looking too good. Captain's on back tonight as well. But then, to be fair, Burn scores. Burn scores. I have to say Fabian Shaw was solid at those points as well. Burn scores. Isak offside. And I think it's ridiculous. I think the benefit of the doubt should go to the striker. And I honestly can't see the difference in that compared to the Gakpo one. So I can't see the difference in the VAR there. They're both very tight. Where's the consistency? If they've got to be both given or both ruled out for me. So shocking by VAR again. I have to big up Julian tonight. Thought he was an absolute warrior. That shot of him with mud on his face and flying in. Got a yellow card for it, but fuck it, worth it. I thought he was a real good battler tonight, Julian. And Bruno, clever at times as well, winning the ball in the middle of the park. But then Julian did lose the ball, as I mentioned before, in their box, 1-1. And then Salah goes and scores. Dubravka save after save after save. Almiron comes off, Mailey on, Gordon back on the left, much better. Isak, great finish. We just skipped ahead a little bit there, actually. But like I said, again, we're conceded from the goals from being in their box, being in the opposition box. They break away. Our defence looks a bit leggy, and it's an easy tap in. VAR checked. Talked about it. Bollocks. Botman, 3-2. Let's get a classic on our hands. Let's get another 4-3 classic that they love to show every single time we play this bastard game. We see Keegan slumped over the dugouts every time this game is on. So can we get another classic? Botman makes it 3-2. 10 minutes left on the clock. Nah. We don't want no classic here. I tell you what we want. Easy Liverpool win. Top of the table. Makes it interesting. Title charge. You know what I mean? Not a pen at all on Jota. Clear dive. And like I said, that ruined the remainder of the game. That's me and my notes wrapped up, people. So get your comments in. And I'll try and get through as many as possible on this New Year's Day night. So, ex-Scouse corrupt ref commentating too. Can't stand that rat, says John Hill. Andrew Luskin was on the beer last night. I was indeed. I was out in London last night, down by Wembley, with the missus on the New Year's Eve night out. And I didn't have too many, though. Didn't get too carried away. Just had a few. But it was a class New Year's Eve, to be fair. Hope you had a good one, Andrew, and everyone else that's watching. Thank God it's January. Depth is needed badly, says Daniel. Well, I've just been talking about that there myself, Daniel. That we need a striker and a right winger because we'll never have a fit striker. And we haven't got a right winger that can score or assist, really, at the minute, unless it's a paper patch from Almiron. But we need a better consistent right winger. And to be fair, the striker thing, like I said about Wilson, just jetting off because he's took a knock. And I think obviously Eddie Howe has massively rested these players in preparation for the derby in 5 days' time, which we'll touch upon at the end of this stream quickly before all the other content comes your way this week. Loads of videos on the big time we had derby on Saturday. Remember, NX Newcastle, I'll be hosting a fan zone with Mickey Quinn and Steve Howie. It's going to be a belter. Tickets are nearly sold out, so hit the link in the description while I put it in there, or go to Fatsoma, or just head over to the socials or something. There'll be a post on there somewhere. But I'm looking forward to Saturday, even though it is nervous. But I think Eddie Howe also was looking towards Saturday in resting Trippier and Wilson, and you'd hope they are at least in the bloody squad. You'd hope they're at least on the bastard bench. Otherwise, that's Ganter Sunderland with a knee striker on the bench and keep as galore again isn't really what you need. But Isak, for our only striker tonight, brilliant finish. Didn't have any chances ball that one, really. In and around the box, his touch wasn't great once or twice. But again, he's not sprinting. Just like Gordon, he's not sprinting. He's not full throttle because he's probably, again, playing with knocks and playing with fatigue. Right then, let's go down. Let's go down through the comments. This is mental. I'm not having that. No way. But football's opinions. There you go. He's asking for Hansi Flick. Ian again is also saying negative tactics. What else we got? These are some serious comments at the start of the stream. To be fair though, tonight, right, I thought we were a lot better. I thought tonight we started looking a bit more like ourselves. Obviously, the Everton game, the Spurs game, them Luton Forest, absolutely dreadful. But tonight I thought were good. I thought it was decent away performance against the top side in Liverpool, and we held our own. We defended well. Obviously, Dubravka keeps winning it, and then we still scored 2 goals, which is it's more than I thought we were going to score tonight. And we kept ourselves in it. And like I said, if it wasn't for the ref / VAR, we're in with a shout at getting the result there with 10 or so minutes to go. So we'll see. Shout out Aaron for becoming a member. Oh, being a member, I should say. He's been a member for a while. Always going to lose this game against Liverpool. Yeah, and that's the thing now. We were always going to get destroyed in those transitions. The counter-attacks paid dividends for Liverpool. They're quick with it, and they took advantage of it, really, and caught us out. And like you're saying there, January, it's a massive, massive month ahead. It really is. Not just in terms of fixtures, but because of transfers, obviously, as well. We've got Sunderland in the Cup, City and Villa in the league. Massive games. And you wouldn't be surprised if we lost all the league games, really, would you? I think if Villa was at home, it would be a bit better because they're in a bit of a dodgy patch at the minute. I mean, Burnley, nearly got a result against Villa on the weekend. Obviously, at City at home, we've got a good record, so maybe we could get something there. But I'm just taking one step at a time at the minute. Just get something out of the way, win that. Sign some fucking players, please. We'll sign some players this week. I want to see Calvin Phillips in a right winger by Saturday. Well, realistically, do you know what I mean? Honestly, I do, and I think it should be there. We've seen this injury crisis has been there for months now. So surely we've been ready, bang, as soon as that window opens. I don't want anyone else taking New Year's Day off. I don't want Ashraf and that flying off to Dubai or Wilson, yeah? I want him in the office, on the old blower, yeah? Calvin, are you on your way yet, son? Eh? Right wingers, goal scorers, strikers, straight at the tune, landing, get them in. Because at the minute, we haven't got enough options at all. So we need January to come, big time. I'm just going to have to fly through these comments because there's that many of them. But do keep them coming in, and we'll pick out the best ones. More people again, just saying, get some signings in. Well, that's what I'm saying, Maya Geordie. I'm not saying that we should have won the game, but I'm saying VAR took away the chance of us getting a result, whether that be a draw. You know what I mean? It's 3-2 with 10 minutes to go. VAR kills our chance of getting a result there. It completely destroys our chance. We've given that non-penalty to Divo Jota. Do you know what I mean? Him doing that, it kills the game. Because we scored 2 goals, we could go the other end and do it again. So I'm not saying that we deserved to win the game either. Yes, Liverpool peppered us, they had loads of chances. But again, saying that, do Liverpool deserve to win the game if they can't score? Because at the end of the day, you could say, well, we deserve a point because Dubravka's been amazing. Dubravka's made all them saves, so we deserve it. You don't deserve anything for wasting all your chances. You don't deserve. You couldn't score. It's your fault. Do you know what I mean? So all expected goals and everything, expected goals and shots and everything, which they dominated, doesn't get you wins though, does it really? VAR does though, doesn't it? So there we go. VAR will always get them. VAR will always sort out LiVARpool. Chiesa from UV is what Adam's wanting. That would be nice, like. Exactly what I was saying earlier about the onside and about VAR. Exactly what I was saying earlier. It's got to be one rule for both, hasn't it, really? It's got to be one rule for both. Ben's pissed off with our approach. I agree with the last bought by better, but I thought the approach to the game was all right, and we were in the game. Oh, he was. This is what I was on about earlier. It was absolutely minging to hear that. I didn't realise that Sky Sports brought back Fan Zone for 2024. Remember that? Bringing in fans, except there wasn't anyone there to represent Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? It was like a watch along that the night. It would have been like watching me if I was commentating on the game. It was a Liverpool watch along that the night. A Liverpool watch along. Peter Drury TV on YouTube. Don't subscribe. A lot of them were just wanking off Liverpool all night long. Oh, wanting everything to go with Liverpool as we all. Look how great this is. And oh, look at that. Oh, well, it was a bit of a dive, but there was a bit of contact, so just give it anyways. Oh, it was a bit offside, but just give it onside. What a load of crap, man. And the celebrations were way over the top, man. Way over the top. Yeah, it's like they feel a tiny bit of contact afterwards and then go flying down. It should have been a booking for his dive, never mind a penalty for them. You know what I mean? He should have been punished for that dive. CRT is never a pen, absolute joke. First pen was neither one either. No, not really. I think the referee just gave in at the end to everyone whinging. This is why Klopp does it. This is why Klopp does it in the Anfield. They get so irate and whingy, and then they just give in at the end. It's like giving in to a petulant child. The whinge so much that they want a happy meal. No, we're not giving you a happy meal. There's food in the freezer. No, you're not getting it. No, but I'm not. And he doesn't eat the fish fingers from the freezer, and he's whinging, and he hasn't ate for hours. And you think, all right, okay, and we'll take McDonald's, get him a happy meal, go to the drive-through. Just same thing with Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? All night long, whinge. Why is that not a foul? That's VAR. Why is that not being given? How's that offside? And then when it gets to like 80th, and they're like, oh, I'm really sick of this. Fair enough. Give them a decision. Go on, let them have it. Give Jurgen Klopp his happy meal toy. Let him have the goal. Go on, we've had enough of this. And it gets to that point where it's far too much, man. Like the decisions. Honestly, I expected to lose this game, and I wouldn't have been asked coming on here and doing a reaction of getting beat 4-2 if Salah scores a decent goal, if Trent scores a brilliant free kick. You know, we would get beat. Why does it have to come down to those decisions, man? Absolutely crap. Dean, your best pal, Jamie, man. Well, this is it. Me and Jamie Carragher, we've had our beef. You know what I mean? It's been there on Twitter. The only thing now to do, me, Jamie, boxing 2024. Get it in. Get it in. He wasn't that bad tonight, to be fair, compared to what I was watching during the bloody game, to be honest with you. Especially except at the end there, it was a bit, Distracted Hodgson, do you think Carrius will start against Sunderland? Nah, definitely not. He hasn't started any games. You think he might have came in at some point, maybe against Forest or something, when Dubravka was playing poorly. After Dubravka's had a very good game tonight, he's not going to get dropped now. Although I get what you're saying. Like, if you're seeing it from like a cup perspective, will he rotate? Not against the Magnums. Maybe we're playing Doncaster, but not against the Magnums. No way. People are calling for Hansi Flick, the second or third person there that wants to see Hansi Flick brought in. I'm back in Eddie Howe all day. But again, how are we looking for a new job end of January? Well, the pressure will definitely mount up, won't it, on Eddie Howe if it's a rough January, which obviously looking at the fixtures, it definitely could be. Do you know, your Cities and your Villas, but it'll all be determined by the Sunderland game for me. Got to win that one. That's the must win. And then we've got to see how the transfer business is done. Thomas is saying we need a number 6, right wing, left wing, centre back. Well, we most definitely need a number 6. I've talked already on this stream about the need for a right winger and a striker. in a number 6, because how many times do we need to say this? You could repeat the same match analysis for most of Newcastle's games this season, where there's no cover for the defence. We are wide open. We are so exposed. And it's just no protection for the back four. People can just walk through our midfield. They can walk through the attack. They can get to our final third far too easily. So we need that number 6 desperately. And that's why we'll hopefully see Calvin Phillips come in very soon, because it's on loan. That'll do. And that's what we need. We need that number 6. And if we were talking about FFP and stuff, I'd get Phillips in on loan and then spend the money on a right winger / striker. Or obviously a versatile forward who could do both. One of them that could potentially do that, even though I don't think he'd be Premier League ready yet, even though he's doing well in Eredivisie, and I'd give him a shot, because look at what Miley's done, his progression. But unlike what Ent Media's saying there, Minta's coming to Newcastle. Well, he is, but not until next summer. It doesn't look like we're going to recall him in January. So once his loan spell's up with Feyenoord, then he'll be back in the team. Jot that up for an Oscar with that dive. That's a mad shout by Mineshaft. We'll have Matty Longstaff than Bruno. Longstaff, right? Almiron's an embarrassment. I would agree with that one. I said before, I think LiVARpool was a bit sloppy. LiVARpool was sloppy for that goal. But he's also been a bit sloppy at times. Sometimes he's working well down the channel and he was getting the ball away, but I think at times he was looking a bit suspect, come back in on the right. But listen, the two fullbacks today, they were always going to have a tough game. Everyone was going to have a tough game. It's Liverpool, but when you've seen Dan Burn going up against Salah and that, I thought, oh dear me, that's not going to be looking good. Not going to be looking good at all. And you've seen it time and time again. He was caught out, positioning was bad, but then Tino as well on the other side. With Liverpool wingers, it was always going to be a hard day at the office. But I thought Shaw, I think even Botman, was caught out at times and a bit late. But again, he's probably getting his match sharpness back. But I thought Shaw was pretty solid, especially first half, especially first hour. Well, this was frustrating as well, because I thought it was a very good cross by Gordon, and then Longstaff, like you see, he takes it to his chest. I would just dive ahead of that, or just try and muscle around it. But he tries to take it down his chest, and there you go up the other end and score, which again was the theme of the night, really, where you think, bit of hope, we're attacking here, we're in the box, and then we give it away. There you go up the other end, quick transition, and we're caught right out. More people just calling for a CDM, right wingers. Wilson has to go. Bring in Garassi. Eddie needs to go over. He lose to Sunderland, says 80s Gamer. Didn't have the legs in shape. Currently Newcastle losing every game. Dan Burn shouldn't start. Bring in Boniface. I would absolutely love Victor Boniface, but we'll keep that transfer video for another day. So many comments. What time is it now? I'm catching up the comments from 20 minutes ago, man. This is mental. But shout out everyone that is tuned in. Nearly 700 people still. Smash the subscribe button, please. And hit the thumbs up and all. It's free. It takes you 2 seconds. All right? Not much to ask people. However, it's New Year's Day after all. And I'm doing this after just getting pumped 4-2. People slating the Anfield atmosphere. And Dan Burn. Out under massive pressure. Not looking good for Saturday. Just rattling through some comments now. Need Barnes back for end product. Going to highlight this one because, again, I think you look at the bench today, and let's just go through the bench. When you see it, you think, wow, what we got to do with that? Do you know what I mean? When you see the options that we've got, Karius, Gillespie, Dummett, Lascelles, Ritchie, still there, Matt Ritchie, Kraft, Hall, and Hall actually came on for 10 minutes. Didn't really do much, didn't do anything. Almiron and Alex Murphy. So again, it's such a killer blow not even having a Jacob Murphy, not having your Barnes, not having your Wilson, not having your Willix. Do you know what I mean? It's just, if we have two or three of those, just to come off the bench, it makes a massive difference to our game plan, what we can do, and what a chance of getting back in the game would be. Chris is spot on, Matty. Liverpool always get the decisions against us. Klopp is a clown. John, seen you in Grey Park Morrison's. I'll speak to you next time. Get me shopping next time if you want, John. That would help. Not cheap, that Grey Park Morrison's, is it? But yeah, hopefully we'll get some stronger players in soon. Dylan asks, Matty, would it be fair to want Howe out if he loses to Sunderland? No, it wouldn't be fair for me. I mean, it would just be another barren run, another bad result. And to be honest, I'm saying this now, but if we did lose to Sunderland in my match reaction, that could get very leery and very reactionary. I suppose I could be going a bit mental on that one. Let's hope that's not the case. But saying it sensibly, like, no, we could lose to Sunderland, and I still wouldn't want Eddie Howe out. Not a chance. We'd have to be a real disaster end of the season for me to want Howe out. Or not to see any improvement, like from February onwards when the fixtures get a bit more easy, I suppose, because they couldn't get much harder in January. But listen, I'm not sure how I would react if I lose to Sunderland. Like I said, I'd be going mental, but I'd probably end up being close to saying something like I'd have not seen it. But I don't even want to think about that, to be honest, Dylan. I don't even want to consider losing to Sunderland. It's an unbearable thought right now after our run of form and being ninth in the league. I don't want to even entertain the disastrous nightmare of an idea that would be. See, I'm getting angry just thinking about it. Just even slightly given a moment of my time to think about it, I'm starting to get riled up. So let's move on. No. No, not Sunderland. We can't lose to Sunderland. They won 2-0, I think, the day. They're in the playoff places now in the championship, but I couldn't care less. We can't have. We can't, man. We can't possibly. Right, but no more Derby talk. People, we've got maybe a Derby, probably not tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 big Derby Day videos coming up, 3 big Sunderland-related content coming up, one of which where I will be at the Stadium of Light. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, a couple of videos coming up this week on Derby Day. Well, 3 in fact. Might do one tomorrow, but we've definitely got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the old Derry for content on Sunderland away on Saturday. And like I said, I'll be there at NX Newcastle's fan zone for the game. There's going to be about 1,000 Geordies there. It's going to be unbelievable inside the venue, bouncing, and joined by Steve, Howie, and Mickey Quinn. So make sure you come along. If you haven't got your tickets already, they're on fatsoma.com. I'll whack the link in the description after the game, after this video. But if not, head over to our social media. I'll be able to see the link to get tickets there, or just Google it, NX Newcastle Fan Zone. What's happened to Gordon? He's absolutely shattered. I put a tweet out saying, we need to take Gordon off. He was dead on his feet, but then when he got moved to his left-hand side, he was a bit more impactful without having to run as much because he knew what he was doing. The skill was there. So he was still not being able to really run, though, or close people down, or stretch legs, and a couple of his passes were poor first half, bit better second half. But I thought you could see he was absolutely done. And the problem is, though, there's not many other options. You bring an Almiron, but he brought Maley off, and we're seeing that Almiron's the end product and that. So, but what I would say, at least Miggy runs and he tries, where I think Gordon couldn't even do any of that tonight, really. So that's a shame. But to be fair, I think he's playing with a knock. I think he's playing with an injury. He's playing through pain. And he was the one that came out and said he can't wait for the derby when it got announced. He'll play, but how good would he be because of how fit will he be? Because I think Gordon would be perfect for that derby. That type of shithouse, that type of character, he would be perfect for the derby. You've definitely got to get on a red card for the derby, haven't you? Jolinton, Gordon, fucking Trippier if he plays, maybe even Burn, Longstaff. There could be so many red cards in that game. I couldn't even name a Sunderland player, but surely there could be a red card for them as well. Come on, Liverpool fans, giving it big style when you had 34 shots. We had 5 shots, 2 goals, and one of theirs was from the spot, says Wayne. Well, that's what I'm saying about, yeah, you can say, oh, well, you got back Andy Waders, Liverpool deserved the win, and all of this. Well, on the other hand, I could say, well, Dubravka made loads of saves and you wasted loads of chances. So do you deserve to win when you can't score, when you can't finish those chances? I would argue that we deserved the result because of how well Dubravka played and how well we defended. And if it wasn't for VAR shafting us over, but I wouldn't have expected anything else. Red Running says, get Mourinho. I did a piece on DL Sports Saturday Football Show on that one, so you can go check that out. My thoughts on that. Chris is talking about Isak looking injured after his goal. Osman would be an absolute dream. Osman are saying on Football Manager, but Osman would cost north of £100 million. So that is not going to happen anytime soon. Can you comment on training physio? Well, obviously one of the Newcastle physios has just left, hasn't he? I think it was yesterday he got let go, and then they came out about Sven Botman playing with that terrible injury and carrying on and then making it worse. So, yeah, I think we do need to look into that backroom department, because obviously we still had 9 senior players out tonight, and at one point we've had, 14? So I have to say that there is some serious looking into to be happening there, because the amount of injuries, the extent of their injuries, rushing people back like Murphy, then getting injured again, and rushing people back now, you can just see that something's not quite right. So I would say that something needs to happen there, and we need to tell you what, all this money and that, don't think FFP affects your backroom, is it? Get the best bloody physios in that the world could offer. Tony C's asking for De Gea to come in. I mean, I still do want another keeper, yes. Dubravka played well tonight, but that was his first good performance since he's came in however long it's been, a month or so. So we do still need another keeper. Mancini, Saudi national team manager, on standby. Bars are saying Eddie's still the man for the job. Season is a write-off, people are saying. Wouldn't go that far, still in the FA Cup, beat Sunderland, big game, big chance, and then hopefully we can get another cup run. Do you know what I mean? I think everyone's. I mean, a lot of the time I get slaughtered for being negative, but bloody hell, these comments are very negative tonight, saying we were a shambles, we were crap, we were a disgrace, and all that. I don't think it was that bad, really. Scored 2 against Liverpool. Obviously, we did get battered a bit. Rafkat and make loads of saves, but for me, we're in that game. If it's not for VAR, we could still get a result there. And our run of form, the players that we've got available, I wouldn't have expected much difference, to be fair, against Liverpool. Maybe I'm just being too positive, which I don't think anyone's ever said ever. The amount of comments I normally get, you're being negative, you're critical. For once, people are saying that I'm not slating them enough. What's going on here? I cannot please anyone, can I ever? Hey, we're 2024, be more positive. Unless obviously something happened on Saturday, then there'll be no positivity then, but we'll see. Klopp's teeth have been borrowed off Ryland, says Terry Tibbs. Shout out Agent Tech for the super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that one. It's only the Newcastle dads that want Mourinho. I guess that is. That want Mourinho. Well, I mean, the thing is with Mourinho, right? I'll touch on it quickly since Agent Tech sent in the super chat. I'll reply to that. Thanks very much. The thing is with Mourinho, for me, is which Mourinho would you be getting? Do you know what I mean? Because you're getting the Mourinho of Spurs and Man U that didn't do anything. Well, to be fair, Man U, he wasn't that bad, was he? What did he get him second and won a trophy? Spurs strangely sacked him right before the cup final when he could have won them some silverware. And since he's went to Roma now, Mourinho, obviously older now, what is he in his 60s? He's won the Conference League and he got the Europa League final. So I suppose that in recent times is decent. And he is that winner, isn't he? And he is box office. It would be so entertaining having Jose Mourinho at the tune. And it would be romantic in the sense of obviously the Sir Bobby Robson connection. Jose being Bobby's translator back at Barcelona. And, Jose was paying his respects to the statue of Sir Bobby at the stadium before games when he visited for an opposition manager. It always felt like you'd probably manage Newcastle, that you could see that potentially happening. And if it did, it would be a bit of a fairy tale, and especially if he was the one to win us a trophy. And there is party where I'd think, Mourinho at the tune, that would be a class. Like, it'll be a crease. He's got the record. He knows how to manage big players, big names. He knows how to win big games, and most importantly, what we all crave, need, and want is that trophy. And he's been there, done it. He knows how to do it. So there's that, but at the same time, I'm like, you're wondering when's his best before date. Do you know what I mean? Is he past that now? Is the layer pack getting a bit mouldy? Is there a bit there in the corner and you scrape it off and the rest is still all right? Or is the whole thing mouldy? Or is he still fresh? Do you know what I mean? Is he still off the shelf and he can do a job? Another strange analogy that I've given on this stream, but that's what I'm saying. What we're getting. But honestly, I'm not too fussed about fine now because I'm still backing Eddie Howe. He's done an unbelievable job for Newcastle. It's been a crap run of form, but I'm still backing him, so I'm not going to think about changing him for another manager anytime soon. Another manager that I'm glad Eddie Howe isn't like is Jurgen Klopp. As Gordon says, he's a disgrace and a perpetual mourner. He is an absolute child. Etch-a-sketch lines for Gakpo. Mad. Just crap, wasn't it? Terrible lines. Drawn, dodgy, real. Because we talk about the penalty being a dive. We talk about that being crap, but the lines as well for the goal. Shocking. Shocking, man. It's corrupt, says thingy. Bring back Rafa, says Bruni. That's great, that Toddy. But guess what? XG doesn't win football matches, so that's great. You can have XG, you can have your possession, whatever you want, really. But that doesn't result in goals. It's the key thing about XG is the X, expected goals. Yeah, not the G, not the goals, and the goals you got. Well, thanks to VAR. So there's that Toddy. Loads of Scousers crying in the chat. Probably not even Scousers, actually. Just Glory Hunters. Probably haven't been to Liverpool in their life. Gary Neville's a tool, says John. VAR and ref play for Liverpool against his Ronald. We've even got a Sunderland channel in here saying didn't think he's looked bad at all tonight. So even they're agreeing with me where a lot of people were saying that I was probably being too positive. I thought we did look that right. Like Derek's saying, who goes to Anfield and wins? Nobody. Literally nobody. I don't think they've lost this year, have they? What, the draw at Arsenal? They haven't lost to Anfield for ages. They lost to Spurs this year. That was away, no doubt in 9 men. We can't blame VAR because yes, we can acknowledge their amount of shots. We can acknowledge that they threatened a lot and Dubravka made loads of saves. But then that's a good thing for us because that means we defended well and we kept them out. And if it wasn't for VAR, then we would have got a draw. So I think we can't blame VAR for dodgy onside, offside lines and dodgy dives and penalties. Well, yeah, expected goals and your shots and all that, but at the end of the day, You don't. That doesn't result in goals. That's why it's called expected. That's why it's shots. 34 shots, only 15 on target. That's not very good in itself, really. Because to be fair, we could do this against Sunderland on a Saturday, right? We could quite easily, and a lot of people expect this because we're the Premier League team, we're the Saudi money. Sunderland are the little championship club, haven't been in the Premiership for years. We could batter Sunderland on Saturday. We could have your 35 shots. We could have your fucking 9 expected goals, whatever you want to say, 80% possession. But I tell you what, if we don't score, we don't take those 35 shots on target chances, we don't hit the 7 expected goals, the 8 XGs, and all the corners and all the possession, and it's 0-0, and they score in the 90th minute and win 1-0, then guess what? They've won because they scored the goal. And we can't come out and go, well, we battered them. Great, we battered them, but we didn't win. That's the point that it can come to where, we can batter them. Yeah, we'll claim the shots on target record. Great, we'll claim that we should have had loads of expected goals and we dominated them. That means absolutely nout. It means nothing. If you're not going to score the chances, it means absolutely nothing. Let's obviously hope and pray that that's not the case on Saturday. And we do score some goals, even one, and don't concede any. I'll take a 1-0 now against Sunderland. I couldn't care less. when I did the live FA Cup draw, I was hoping for bloody that it was going to be a thrashing. We'll batter these 4, 5, 6. But now, Jesus, just give me the 1-0 and the win, and I'll see you later. I mean, but be fair, I think we get more than one. People asking about Sunderland this weekend. Just stay tuned to the channel. People, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because there'll be loads of content coming out regarding Sunderland this week regarding Derby. So we'll talk more about that then. Peter Griffin in the house from Family Guy. Shout him out. Wanting to send Miggy back to the MLS. Would you sell Bruno for 100 million if it meant we could bring in Phillips, Smith Rowe, and nah? You want to bring in DCL? He's more injured than CW. Sorry, he's more injured than Callum Wilson. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's more injured than Callum Wilson. Same with Smith Rowe, very injury prone, hasn't proved much lately. And Phillips again injury prone, and we'll get him in on loan. So no, not for them. I mean, if he offered us, would I sell Bruno for 100 million? Give it Osimhen or something, or Phillips and Osimhen, and I'd maybe be tempted, but no, not for them options. Bruno spoils a game. Bring in Conte in the summer. I mean, I know Conte won trophies, but did you see what happened at Spurs? And look at Spurs last season under Conte, and look at Spurs now under Ange. I wouldn't want Conte. He was a mess and arguing with everyone. You wouldn't want him at the club, man. Lighthouse Teeth Jürgen, like that one. Andrew's not happy. Could have been 20 today. Liverpool never won the Premier League until they had VAR. Worst game that Liverpool played? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, he hasn't put a foot wrong, really, has he, since he came in? So tonight, I would say it was definitely his worst game, yeah. I don't think that's controversial at all, Nick, and I think we should be on it now. We should be doing it now. It's January the 1st, man. It's now the 2nd, to be fair. What we are, 11 o'clock or something now? 10 past 11. So, get them in. Do you know what I mean? I'd be bringing in at least 2 players from Saudi. That rule didn't change. The Premier League and these other clubs didn't get their way, and you can still get loan players. Why aren't we? Obviously, I know I'm just being a bit daft. It's only just opened the window. But this transfer window, I would definitely be bringing in players from Saudi. No doubt about it. If we're going to whinge you out FFP, loophole City, then get round those loopholes and get the loans in from the Saudi Pro League. Do it now. Get Mitrovic. Get Mitrovic back for the derby this Saturday. Go on, I'm saying it now. Get Mitrovic. He's in Saudi, smashing it, as he would. Way too good for that league. I mean, I'd probably smash it out there. But Mitrovic, bring him in and get him lined up for the derby. He scored in the last one, didn't he? 7 years ago. So he knows what it is. And now he's obviously way more mature. And he's a quality striker. I would love Mitrovic. Get Mitrovic back to the tune. Get Mitrovic in. Get Ruben Neves in. Get bloody anyone else you want in. Ronaldo, who cares? Do it. Get them in. Do you know what I mean? We are desperate at this point. I am sick of seeing keepers on the bench and Macaulay Culkin's on the bench. Do you know what I mean? Kids and keepers. KK. That's all I'm seeing on the bench these days. Bring them in. Bring them in, Nick. People saying Wilson might be sold since he's been pictured going to Dubai today. Well, I'll tell you what, I like Wilson, but he's not fit enough. So if some Saudi team wants to offer some big money for Wilson, let's do it. This month is a write-off. Need a centre back. Gets to the point now where I'm like, are these Mackems, or are they just? Is everyone still pissed from New Year's, or is everyone just actually had enough? I don't know. Cole's asking, Matty, do you fancy a 1-1 draw at Stadium of Light, then batter you 3-0 in your own garden shed? F the Magpies. Right. So you actually don't want to win at your own ground. You'd rather come to a proper city in a proper stadium and play here. And let's be honest, if this game was at home, there would be no doubt about it, was there? If this game was at St. James on Saturday, no matter how bad we were playing, no matter how many injuries we had, we would be absolutely destroying Sunderland. So, yeah. In a sense, drawing against Sunderland and then having a chance to play them at home, I wouldn't mind that much. I'd rather batter them and get it done on Saturday. But drawing and then playing them at home, where we could absolutely annihilate them and embarrass them, wouldn't be the worst thing now that we're out of Europe and we're out of the Carabao Cup. But at the same time, let's just get it over and done with on Saturday. Let's just destroy them then. It's funny because we have got Mackems in the chat as well, so they're obviously getting excited for the derby, aren't they? Getting excited for their biggest game in 7 to 70 years. You know what I mean? Like, so long. Lewis and Buemo are really smarty, both. Yeah, and Buemo fell off a little bit. But, at least would be class for us, like, but if we're talking about FFP, we're not going to be able to do that, are we? Because he would cost an absolute fortune. Liverpool and Botman were awful tonight. Yeah, I thought Botman looked off it tonight as well, is what Lance is saying. I don't know where that's come from. I don't know. Some people are, I don't know if it's because it's New Year's and people are just on the drink all the way through, but I don't know what's going on. But I am trying to catch up your comments, people. Thanks again for everyone that sent them in. There's absolutely loads. Yeah, some mongs in the chat, like seeing Eddie Howe's been sacked and that. Right, we are finally up to the same hour, just after 11. So let's go. Just getting through all the bullshit from people as well, to be fair. Seven losses and 8. Mackham's trying to tell people that Eddie Howe's been sacked. It's got to be Mackham's. Mackham's or Scousers. Or some mongs are telling people that Eddie Howe's been sacked. Yeah, it's He's been sacked. There you go. Great. Graham, we need to get our fingers out, get players in, not leave it the last few days. Well, we definitely, surely cannot leave it till the last few days of the window, because of how tough our January is with all the difficult fixtures, we've got to get these players in now. Do you know what I mean? We've got to get them in as soon as possible, because like Cow keeps on saying, people aren't that close. You'd be hoping that Willock and Barnes and Murphy that will be back soon in the next week or so, but it's not looking too promising, that. So you'd have to say that the signings most definitely have to come in sooner than later. Get Pickford, says Red Running. Imagine that. I mean, just having Pickford for the derby would be a crease. I wouldn't want Pickford, but just having him play against Sunderland would be hilarious, because they would be absolutely devastated with that. Although it would probably be Agent Pickford, and he would concede goals on papers. Dan Binn's positioning lately cost us a lot of goals. Absolutely has. Get rid of Bain and Almiron. People talking about the away record. I mean, I wasn't expecting that away record to get much better tonight, to be honest with you. Like, I wasn't expecting that away record to get better tonight against Liverpool. But we do have one of the worst. I think it's the second worst away record in the league. With only one win in the league away to Sheffield United. So hopefully that changes very soon. Loads of fucking mad comments on this stream. Like, you can tell that we've just played Liverpool, and you can tell that we've got Sunderland next by these comments in the chat. Oh, as if people are actually checking Sky Sports News. Please don't check Sky Sports News for people telling that Eddie Howe's been sacked. Like, how am I? What he's playing at? How people believe in this and then going on? Oh dear. What keeper would you sign in January? De Gea? I mean, De Gea wouldn't be my first choice. De Gea would not be my first choice. But I would like the Valencia keeper. I'm not going to try and murder his name again, but it does begin with an M. But I'd like him to come in, maybe even take a punt on Ramsdale. But the Rafka was good tonight. But again, what I've seen recently doesn't take away from that one performance tonight. I still would like another keeper brought in. Oh my, I think I've actually, the Valencian Georgian keeper, that's what I'm on about. Mamadishvili, that's the one. Taylor saying I'd love to hear. Would you be shocked if Ekitiki turns up this week? Says Matey Mag 9. I wouldn't be shocked, because obviously it's a player that Newcastle have looked at, been linked with, and chased for a while now. So it wouldn't shock us, because you could get him on a loan as well, you'd imagine. So it would suit our January motive of a loan signing and getting around financial fair play. Listen, I think Ekitiki would probably be a smart January move. I mean, I've been against that transfer after he turned us down, and his attitude towards it, and his agent at the time. I think, fuck him. Didn't want to come when the time was tough. But I don't blame him for going to PSG as well, since he's French, and that's what you would have wanted. But at the same time, right now, like I said, with FFP, and if we're going to try and get loans and everything else, Ekitiki fixed the bill of that versatile forward where he can play on the wing and he can play as a striker. So I wouldn't say no at the minute, and no, I wouldn't be shocked if he turned up. I wouldn't be shocked at all. She's asking, and we've been going for 1 hour now. Wow, that stream is absolutely flew over. That stream is flying. So let's round this up now. Let's round this stream up. People will go for another 5 minutes or so. So get your final questions in. This is a good one from Shay. My perfect window, perfect. Mamadishvili, goalkeeper. Calvin Phillips on loan, because we'll not go mad and say we'll spend money on a midfielder. Right winger, Chiesa from Juventus. And striker, Boniface. So I'm going to note this down as well because I need to do a transfer window video. So my targets for January would literally be this. So thanks for the question, Shane. I'll do a full video on this at a later date. But Mamadishvili, goalkeeper, we'll get that in. Phillips, because we need that DM, we need that 6. Chiesa, because we need that right winger who can actually score goals and threaten the final third. And we need a striker in, I'm going to go for Victor Boniface from the Bundesliga, a young striker, tall, difficult to play against, goal scorer, would give us a versatile option up there as well. And he'd be hungry. He'd be a hungry striker that would want to improve and probably wouldn't mind as much as someone else to be that option off the bench at the start and further beyond that, where if you brought someone big in, say if we had the money and we're saying Ivan Toney or one of these big strikers that linked, people suggesting Osimhen in that earlier on, they'd obviously want to come in, bang, starter. But if Isaac and Wilson are there and they've been here for a while and stuff, Boniface would be happy to come in, battle for his place, and he can play up there, and you could rotate with Isaac on the left and stuff, maybe. So some good options there. Danny reckons Liverpool are going to be Premier League champions 2024. Well, I don't think you will be. I think it will be City yet again. Let's go back up. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, João Pedro and we did end up getting Isaac instead of João Pedro, so it didn't work out too bad. But I am a fan of João Pedro. He's doing well at Brighton, isn't he? So he would have been good in 30-odd million. Yeah, if only. Realistic signings. Guirassy. Everyone's linked with Guirassy because he's got a, 16 million release clause. He's cheap and he's available. Listen, I would take Guirassy. I really like that shout of Ferran Torres as well, who's meant to be available, like he's highlighted there, for a good fee. And Joachim Anderson, who obviously we tried to sign last summer, would be a good signing. But Guirassy, I like Guirassy, and I would get him. But the only problem is, I think he's kind of hit this form unexpectedly, and he's scoring loads of goals, which he's not necessarily famous for. He's not used to this record he's got at the minute. So is it just a purple patch is what my worry is. But to be fair, for a release clause of less than 20 million in this day and age, I would say that was definitely worth the punt. Right then, last couple of questions there. Thanks for that one, matey Mag. Cheers, Jeff, who was tuned in early as well. Well, thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. Thank you. I do believe I have. I mean, wouldn't it be good if we did sign a striker called Boniface anyway? Just because anyone else in the country would probably get what Bonnie means, but we'd be all over that. Boniface. Cheers, John. Right, where are we going? Chiesa, Rafinha, or Ferran Torres. Any of them. Any of those players would do me. Like Brahim Diaz, good player. What else we got? Well, actually, people are forgetting that. You know what I mean? I don't know if people are laughing at some of the suggestions or what people are saying in the chat, but Craig makes a good point where we're saying Bruno when we're 19th. Do you know what I mean? We had that January where we made some top signings like Bruno. So why not? Exciting project. You know what I mean? People are forgetting these things already. That's a good point by Daniel. Boniface at the Africa Cup of Nations. Good point. But obviously that's only a few weeks, isn't it? And then by the time you get him in, notoriously late movements in the January transfer window. So by the time you get them in, would it really matter that much? And obviously it depends on how far his country goes in the tournament. Do you think we just have to accept paying the $7.5 million Phillips loan? I think so, because listen, Man City paid a lot of money for Phillips. they're going to want to recoup some of that. I think we could probably get them down a little bit. Maybe we get him for about a 4 million fee. It's not bad, is it? Especially the thing is that people know, Man City know, all of the clubs know that we're desperate because of all the injured players we've got and the Tonali situation, that they can try and push us for that a little bit more. So there we go. Just that one, Gary. Definitely take a punt on Solanke. Well, Eddie Howe likes Solanke, doesn't he? For me, it is just a good run of form for Solanke at the minute. I mean, his record's good in the Premier League, but it's not great. And he wouldn't get us that excited. And now the run he's on at the minute is unreal. But how long is it going to last? Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say no to him. Listen, I definitely wouldn't say no to him, but he wouldn't be towards the top end of my list, to put it that way. But at the minute, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, there's been loads of great interaction in this chat. Thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in to the live match reaction. Been a solid 700 viewers throughout, so really appreciate you getting involved. Make sure you subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV. Drop a like on this one if you haven't already. Keep your comments flying in if you're watching this back. Get them into the chat as well. Post video once it gets put up, and I'll get back to some people after the show is available for those that couldn't tune in live. But cheers again, everyone. Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good 2024. Let's hope it's a good January. Listen, all these things about Eddie Howe and that, it's been an unbelievable year. A cup final, the top 4, the Champions League games. It's been amazing. So let's hope we can pick things back up again in the new year. Big month ahead. Big, massive game coming already thick and fast on Saturday against the Mackhams, and then the transfer window. So we'll see how we get on. Important, big times to come for the Toon. Cheers again, people. Enjoy yourselves, and make sure you're tuned in. Like I said, loads of videos this week on the Sunderland game. Probably back tomorrow. If not, definitely Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There is all videos coming on those days dedicated to the Derby Day build-up. NX Newcastle for the Newcastle fan zone for the Sunderland game. If you're not there, tickets are in the description below, fatsoma.com, or hit our social medias up and you'll see it on there. Nice one, people. See you later. Good night.